Hey guys, this module is on business development with regards to cold calls to clients. So there are multiple different ways to do business development. Some will include email marketing, some will include, there's lots of different ways, text message marketing. However you want to get creative, you can do business development. It's essentially the act of, as it says in the title, developing your business. So when cold calling a business, usually you want to have something to talk about. So have it thought out. Planning is quite key with this one, especially when you're new to it. So you don't necessarily have to follow a script per se, but you want to follow a call structure. So it might be that you're calling about a particular role that you've seen them advertising. It might be that you're calling about a particular candidate that you're getting active with in the market. It may be that you're calling to get an update on a project they're doing. There's a number of reasons that you can pose as the reason for calling them. Just make sure you know the reason for calling them. The last thing you want to do is get caught out and not really know what you're trying to say or have anything to say. We've all been there. I've been caught. I remember a time that I called a client and he previously had not answered the phone. I tried to call him maybe 5 or 6 different times. Always got his answer phone, so I'm like, he's probably not going to answer. Fuck it, I'll just call him. So I called him and he answered really quickly. And then I'm like, wasn't really prepared for this. So I said, I can't remember even who it was, but let's say his name was Peter. I said, good morning, Peter. Nice weather. And he went, goodbye, and hung the phone up. So bit embarrassing. Wasn't the end of the world. I can't even remember who it was. He definitely won't remember me. We move on. But if you've got a candidate that you're looking to introduce to this person for either an active role that you know they have or just speculatively, I would pose it something along the lines of, hi Claire, it's Josh calling from Prodigy. How have you been? So the how have you been part is quite important, especially when it's cold, because even if she doesn't know you and you've never spoken before, by saying how have you been in the past tense, it sort of implies that you've spoken before. She's probably not going to call you out on that. She's probably going to go, oh, maybe I don't remember this guy. It's a bit embarrassing. Oh yeah, I've been good, Josh. How are you? So it makes it seem as though there's already a relationship there. So I say, hi Claire, Josh from Prodigy. How have you been? You find out how she's been. Maybe she'll engage in conversation. Maybe she'll say, yeah, good, what's up? And then you go on to say the reason for your call. So I would say something along the lines of, the reason for my call is, I'm working with a candidate who has XYZ skill set. Obviously, I know that you guys deliver those types of projects too. These are really difficult to come by in the market at the minute, these types of people. I was just wondering if you might consider hearing about him. Or something along those lines. It doesn't have to be exactly like that, but that's just an example of how you might introduce, a candidate to the business. And even better than that would be if you know that they look for a particular sort of type of person, and you have that particular type of person. So say they look for people that have got, I'm in construction, so maybe they look for someone who has strong experience in water infrastructure or wastewater infrastructure. I might call and say, hey, the reason for my call is I've got a project manager whose background is solely delivering capital works within the water infrastructure space. He's been with his business for the past 5 years and he's looking to make a move. This guy's quite cheap compared to what I'm seeing in the market at the minute. Just wondered if you guys would want to hear about that type of person. The likelihood is, if that's the type of person that they hire, they will want to hear about it. And you can even make this up. If you don't have terms of business in place, you can just make up a candidate. They're probably, you have a reason to not disclose specific details at the moment because you don't have terms of business signed. You're going to need terms of business signed in order to disclose these details. And that's a good way to leverage getting them to sign those terms because they're going to want to hear about this candidate. So In the meantime, you can send them a brief profile, or you can let them know that this candidate has XYZ, blah, 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 blah. In order to disclose any more or tell you exactly who this candidate is, I will need to get terms of business signed. And then if you have made it up, once they've signed the term of business, you just tell them, oh, really sorry, this guy's actually taking a different role, so he's no longer in the market. But let's have a conversation about what it is that you found interesting about that candidate, and I'll see if I can source someone else. So now you've got a job on, potentially, because you know that they were interested in seeing that previous candidate, even if it was made up. So anyway, we can elaborate more on that type of thing, but essentially that was a long-winded way of saying have a reason for calling.